Hello and welcome to FPL Daddy. Game week 26 was an absolute roller coaster for me. From people not starting to conceding goals in the last minute, and to top it all, my players actually giving me points in the last minutes of a game. So let's head to the points before we go to the team selection of this really crucial game week. And why is it crucial? Because there's a lot at stake as far as your chip strategy is concerned, because the players you had in game week 25 or 26 are blanking in 27, and you really need to think a few game weeks ahead if you want to dominate towards the end of this season's FPL. So let's start with how the defense performed. So De Gea gave us 2 points. Trent and Robertson not starting in the first game was an absolute shocker. Nobody expected that. I did expect Robertson to not start, but Trent not starting was a shocker to me. As you all know, in my previous video, I actually asked all of you to pick Van Dijk over Robertson, and even scored a goal. So I think scored 15 points if I'm not wrong. So that was a great haul for a Liverpool defender. I was really disappointed with my Arsenal double defense. They conceded a goal in the last kick of the game in the first game. So maybe 12 points there. My rank would have been way higher up. Another shocker of a game was the City Spurs game. Nobody expected Spurs to score 3 goals at Etihad, but that's the way football is. And Conte has beaten, or sorry, Tottenham has beaten City twice this season. What an achievement for Spurs. Coming to the midfield, it looks like Jared Bowen is slowly losing his form. West Ham don't look as lethal as they were. They're not as free scoring anymore. So I think a lot of managers will actually reconsider having West Ham attacking assets in their team. Coming to my star performer this game week, apart from the one and only Mohamed Salah, I picked Mane ahead of Son, and what an absolute beast he has been. The second game was most important. I think he scored 2 goals. Yes, and even got us an assist and 3 full bonus points along with the clean sheet. So 26 points for Mane really stood out for me. Uh, Along with that, Jimenez and Lacazette were decent. I mean, the expectations were low, and I think they met expectations. But Edward, I think, was the real flop for my team here. He just played 1 minute over a double game week. Had I had any of my other bench players, we would have gotten more points. But that's okay. All in all, I'm quite happy with 145 points. So, coming to the team selection, I have actually been researching a lot, and it was quite hard for me to make a few decisions, but I've made them, and I'm quite happy with the decisions I've made. So let me tell you what my strategy is. Before we get to my strategy, let me tell you that I have only one free hit left. I also have my wild card. I also have my bench boost, and I've already played one of my free hits as I just mentioned. So I'm not. So the main idea here is that you either play a free hit or you play a wild card, because and most people are actually playing their free hit. So, or people who have two free hits are actually playing a free hit in 27 and a free hit in 30. So what my strategy is that a free hit and a wild card is essentially the same thing, because you get to play with all new players on your team, right? And to add to that, because a lot of my players are deadwood or aren't really don't really have fixture friendly games, or are blanking, a wild card is a great way to reset your team. So my strategy is to not play the free hit. I've played my wild card, I've made a team, and I've gotten my game weeks till 30 covered. So I'll tell you what's my defense going to look like in game week 28, 29, and 30. We'll get to that in a minute. And I am going to keep couple of my chips for the last few game weeks. Game weeks 36 is one of the biggest game weeks with at least 7 teams having a double game week. So a bench boost there will be ideal, but if I don't really have good enough players on my bench, I'm going to free hit that week. So That's my strategy. And as far as my remaining chip is concerned, let's see. If I don't really need it, I might actually do it in the last game of the season to push my rank up. So coming to my team selection, uh, with the double game week of Burnley in mind for game week 27, I have three players from Burnley: Nick Pope, Ben Mee, and Weghorst. For now, Weghorst is my captain, but let's see what happens. And I think he might just be my captain because Crystal Palace and Leicester aren't really that great defensively. So coming to my defense here, I have a double Wolves defense. I agree that Wolves versus West Ham at the Olympic Stadium is not a favorable fixture, but this double up defense is actually for the following game weeks. When you actually see here, Wolves have the best double game week in game week 28 with Crystal Palace and Watford at home. So I'm ideally going to play a double Wolves defense along with Jimenez. And if you can't afford Jimenez, I would also suggest you to get Sa. So a three Wolves defense also is not a bad idea, but I think that's a little too extreme. It can, swing both ways. So I think that a couple of Wolves defenders along with Jimenez makes up for a good balance as far as your Wolves picks are concerned. So one risk or punt I've taken here is not selecting a City defender or a Liverpool defender, but instead I've gone for a Chelsea defender. So I'll tell you why. So let me show you Arsenal's fixtures at first. Sorry, I need to show you City's. So City play United next in game week 28. After that, the fixtures look decent, and again Liverpool in game week 32. So I'm actually targeting game week 28 here. I think Chelsea might have a double game week. Ben Crellin just kind of confirmed that it can either be Chelsea versus Arsenal or Norwich versus Chelsea. We'll get to know that before the next deadline. And also your game week 30 blanks will be clear once game week 28 is close by. I mean, I couldn't really wait till that long because I can't play a free hit with my existing players. So if you actually look here, uh, again this mentions the same thing that Chelsea will have a double game week, and the source is Ben Crellin, who's an absolute beast as far as fixtures are concerned. There was also an infographic of which teams can blank and which cannot. As far as we know right now, Leicester, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Wolves, and Arsenal are definitely going to be playing. There are 6 teams. I've mentioned that on my story on my Instagram. I'll also put it up on my Twitter so you can go have a look there. So I think that having a double Chelsea defense versus something like a Burnley and a Norwich, or even Burnley versus an Arsenal, is better than a top defender like a City or or a Liverpool defender having a single game week. And along with that, Chelsea also have really favorable fixtures right up till the end of the season, as you can look here. So Rudiger is the most nailed on player. He takes quite a few shots in the from. He took a 40-yard volley the other day, and if you actually notice here, he's got 5 attacking returns, which is not that bad for a centre back at all. So that was my thinking in actually selecting Rudiger. I know it's a punt. It's a bit risky with not selecting City or Liverpool players, but I think it's worth it. Coming to my midfield, I have Bruno Fernandes, who's been in top form, and with Pogba back, he has the freedom to go up. And for all you know, Ronaldo might be rested for the crucial Champions League tie, and you all know how Bruno performs when he is the man everybody focuses on. And he's going to play Watford at home, having scored 2 double-digit hauls. So I think Fernandes is a great shout for this game week. And my plan with Fernandes is that he will be shipped out this game week, and I will get Mohamed Salah in Bruno's place. Coming to my midfield, Mahrez again seems to be a great player. He's on penalties. He's been scoring in almost every game he's playing. You can actually notice here, he's hardly blanked, probably blanked just once. So he's a great player to have on your side, and I think he's also the cheapest among the top. Actually, no, Foden's cheaper, but I think Mahrez is the one who will provide more value in this City attack. Another punty pick I've taken is Coutinho. I agree, Brighton is, I agree that Brighton is a good team at home. But again, this pick is solely for the next game week. They play Southampton at home and Leeds away. I think that's a fixture we need to attack, and I don't really want to be making too many changes in the next double game week. So that's the reason I have Coutinho here. I could also play Rafinha, but Spurs are a better team at a better team at the back. So, and Brighton have actually been poor in the last 2-3 games. So I'm actually going to go ahead with Coutinho over Rafinha for this game week. Another player who's absolutely caught my eye is James Ward-Prowse. To be honest, he was the first name on this sheet for me. And with Norwich at home, I think that this fixture is completely in his favor. Again, it's a bit punty with Ward-Prowse and Broja in your team, but I absolutely wanted Ward-Prowse. Che Adams is actually better than Broja if you actually want to pick a Southampton striker. But my future transfers don't really fit in if I take Che Adams because he's 1.5 million more expensive than Broja. Completing my attack is Weghorst, who's with a double game week, and Harry Kane, who's been in good form too. So he, I think, hauled about 15 points this game week. Let's just wait for that in a minute. 1 second, I'll just refresh this. Sorry guys, it's taking some time. So just a minute there. So Harry Kane completes my attack and I'm quite happy with my team. I'm sorry my internet has suddenly gone off. I think it'll be back in a minute. Didn't expect this to happen, but it's back. So let's just wait for a second before the team is back. So the deadline is tonight at in about 4.5 hours from now. So don't forget to make your changes, and let's just wait for my team to load. Yeah. So Harry Kane completes my attack. So let's have a look at the fixtures of the next game week. So United play City at home. City at Etihad. So that's a tough fixture there. So I'm actually going to remove Bruno and get Mohamed Salah and remove Weghorst and get Jimenez in. So that's my plan for the next game week. And for all you know, Rudiger might have a double game week too. So I'll actually have about 8 or 9 really solid double game week players going into game week 28. So I am confident that my team will do well. I hope it does, and I wish all of you good luck. If you have any questions, you can just reach out to me on my Twitter or Insta handle. As always, please subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends if you like my content. As always, thank you so much for tuning into FPL Daddy.